Morning guys, Moon here. Today we're taking a very quick short look at MEGALOOT and the very basics of the game. So in this guide we will not take a look at specific stats or sets or items because this game is changing at a rapid pace and I want to make a more or less like endurable guide, very resilient to patches, so we just cover the basics of how you play the game, what you have to look at, and what can help you in your first runs and understand the game a little bit better. So first of all, we are taking a character and we are taking a look at what the characters does or do. They do have different stats from character to character, very different, can be anything: life, mana, total attacks, attack damage, toughness, very much different stats, and all of these have an active set. Also, most of these do have an additional bonus that increases one stat by percentage. So this is what separates the characters from each other, pretty much it. The other thing that is different from character to character is the skill trees here. They change slightly, though there is a lot of overlaps. These might change in the future, so I'll just explain the basics. The first three here are game alternating. For example, increased damage received, increased damage dealt, or every battle will be filled with 6 enemies. These just change a little how the game works. And then after that we have 3 diminishing stats, which means that while these boost stats you can select in the game, if you're taking the same stat multiple times, aside from Dazzle it seems, they are weaker than before. So for example, 25 Dazzle, 25 Armor, 10 Armor here. So you are inclined on a lot of options here to take different ones. Because oftentimes, for the elemental things it does seem not to be true, but on most stuff, the first time you're picking a stat is the strongest, and after that it's diminishing. So we are running into the training mode here quickly just to show everything. Let's take a look at the overall UI of the game. First of all, you have your inventory where your pieces go. You have your inventory where everything goes you're buying, and then you have your inventory what you're wearing right now. Then you have active stats up here showing the relevant stats you are having right now, and then you have a lot of stats here. You can search pretty much anything, and all of this will be explained, and you can jump from tooltip to tooltip to see what this is doing. Then you have the floor counter here. This says how many floors or at what floor you are and how many battles are remaining on the current floor. Then we are taking a look at items. All of these items consist of stats and of an active set between 0 to 2. There are some setless pieces, and they do have up to 2 sets at once. For example, a lot of smaller weapons do have the swiftness set, which doubles your total attacks. The swiftness set currently only is available with weapons. Then you have different rarities of items, going from common up to 9 tiers to divine, common, uncommon, rare, etc. And well, these is the stats on the items. All of the items do have stats like physical damage or wisdom or max health, whatever. What all items have in common is the percentage gold gain, which scales with item rarity and item tier. So a stronger tier item you will find later on has a higher percentage of gold increase you're receiving. This does only increase the gold you are getting from enemies, not the gold you are receiving when selling items. Selling items always sells for 75% of the value of the current tier. So for example, when we buy a plate for 7 gold, upgraded, this will be worth 14 gold in buying power and 10 gold in selling power, because we are always selling for 75% of the value roughly. So this pretty much explains items fully. For the shop is very interesting. In the training mode we cannot see it as well, but I will show it in a second in normal mode. we go, not training mode. When we are using the shop and buying items, we can see that the tier of the item increases when you buy the item. This does always happen. So when you happen to have, for example, wooden plate in a very late floor at, for example, cosmic rarity, which is the second highest, it will only cost like a few hundreds or low thousands of gold, while a reroll of the entire shop might cost 25,000. So buying out a cosmic piece out of the shop for 1k gold essentially is a 250 gold reroll, because you can sell the item for 75% of the value, and then the next highest tier item will appear, which is divine, which is the highest tier. So you have a very cheap reroll for a piece that can appear there that has a very high tier and rarity. So always keep in mind that you have to reroll either the full shop or these single pieces. Not like you are not bound to one of these. You can use both in tandem. Also, the reroll cost scales with the floor you are in and scales with the amount of refreshes you have done this turn, though it does refresh whenever we change the round or the turn. Actually, no, the round, not the turn. So it refreshes to 1 after, well, the first reroll, and then goes back to 3 when we are rerolling. This pretty much explains the shop mostly. Then we have the hotkeys of R that goes for reroll, and 1, 2, 3, 4 to quickly buy items. Left click, right click, sell an item quickly. Then let's take a look at the battle buttons, which consists of the skip button, which lets the enemy attack us, the attack button to attack the enemies, and the convert button, which is very interesting, because we can convert shop items to stats. These do only hold for 1 round and will be reset after defeating the current enemies. Then we have to refresh the shop and go again. Well, this is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, because most of the other stuff is very much up to change. This is just the very basics that should stay more or less the same all the time. One detail I have forgotten is your stats. We'll go over that quickly. You have your base set up here, and up to 3 sets explained here. So when you, for example, have the golden set, it will show up here. You have a maximum of 3 sets active at any given time, plus your base set. But you can have up to 3 sets from equipped items. Well, now this is everything I wanted to talk about. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great time with the game. It's very good, very much fun, very, well, addicting. But enough from that. If you want to see how I'm progressing through the game now, about 30 hours in, well, drop by my Twitch and we can have a chat and see how it goes. So thanks for watching. See you there. See you next time. Yes.